Sex and the City star Chris Noth is facing allegations from two separate women that saying that he forced himself on them. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So we were just celebrating the return of the Sex and the City reboot and Just Like That. And now, and just like that, Chris Noth, who was killed off in the first episode, is battling out allegations from two women, according to a new Hollywood Reporter article. The first woman says that she met Chris Noth back in 2004. She's being named as Zoe in the Hollywood Reporter article, and she said she was left feeling brutalized after her interaction with Chris Noth. She says, "It was very painful and I yelled out, 'Stop,' and he didn't. I said, 'Can you at least get a condom?' And according to her, she says that Chris laughed at her." Zoe reveals that she was only 22 when she met then 49-year-old Chris Noth while working as an assistant at a talent agency. Zoe's former boss says this was the peak of Sex and the City's popularity. He was like a god to us. So Zoe alleged that in August of 2004, she took her best friend to soak up the sun at the pool of Chris Noth's West Hollywood apartment complex, but things took a turn when he asked her to bring a book upstairs to him. I'm not going to go into the gory details of what happened there, but what I will tell you this, according to Zoe, after this interaction with him, she ended up going to the hospital. The hospital is now saying to Page 6 that they don't keep records from 2004. The Hollywood Reporter article I will cite in the description of this video so you can read all of the details, because I think it's worth hearing her story and understanding that the Hollywood Reporter also cites people that the victims have contacted immediately after these incidents allegedly occurred. According to Zoe, she did go to the hospital, but she wouldn't say who it was because of this. She says, fearing that she would not be believed and might get fired. Remember, she worked for a talent agency. If she made a public accusation, Zoe kept quiet and left the hospital with just a counseling brochure and medicine. Again, Cedars-Sinai is saying that they do not keep records from 2004. According to Zoe's former boss, they say that Zoe called her later that day and told her that Chris Noth had attacked her, although Zoe doesn't remember making the call herself. According to her boss, it says, "I was driving behind where Soho House is now, and I think I stopped and pulled over because it was so horrible." She was very upset and kind of in shock. I was in shock. But at Zoe's request, she did not disclose the attack to anyone. I was 25 at the time. It was a lot. I didn't know what to do. This is her boss. But this ordeal for Zoe did not just end in 2004. According to Page 6, they says after suffering from nightmares and flashbacks, Zoe went to counseling at the UCLA Rape Crisis Center in 2006. She says, "I had buried it as long as I could, and then I really wasn't doing well and finally went to the treatment the ER had recommended." Julie Banks, the clinical director at the Rape Treatment Center, confirms the facility treated Zoe. But it doesn't end there. There's another accusation stemming back to 2015. Another woman known as Lily told by the Hollywood Reporter that she met Chris Noth when she was 25 years old, working as a server in the VIP section of a now closed New York City nightclub. According to Page 6, at the time, Chris Noth was already married to wife Tara Wilson, whom he wed back in 2012. And Lily says she was starstruck. "He was hitting on me for sure. I was flattered. I knew he was married, which is shameful for me to admit." She says that Chris Noth asked her out for dinner. He then allegedly asked her back to his Greenwich Village apartment to sample his whiskeys. "I was not super sexually active, not wild and crazy. I thought we're going to drink whiskey and talk about his acting career. It sounds so stupid," Lily told the Hollywood Reporter. She says, "He tried to make out with me. I cautiously entertained it. He's older and looked older. He kept trying and trying and trying, and I should have said no more firmly and left. And the next thing that I knew, he pulled down his pants and he was standing in front of me." Again, I'm not going to go into the gory details of the incident. If you would like to read the full report, that will be cited in the description of this video. But according to Lily, she says, when it was over, I went to the bathroom and put on my skirt. I was feeling awful, totally violated. All of my dreams with this star I loved for years were gone. And again, the Hollywood Reporter does a good job of citing people that the victims contacted after the alleged incident. Her friend Alex said she called him hysterical from an Uber and told her that Kristen Off had pretty forcibly had sex with her. Alex said they should call the police, but Lily refused. Lily says she doesn't remember making that call to Alex. However, Lily says that was not her last interaction with Kristen Off. She alleges that he did reach out to her, leaving voicemails and text messages. And according to her friend Alex, he says that he listened to a voicemail where allegedly Kristen Off says, "Hey, hope you didn't take anything wrong last night. We had fun. Just want to make sure you didn't take it the wrong way." To Alex, it seemed very much, "I know I did something bad, but I'm trying to make it seem like it wasn't a big deal." Lily said he left a voicemail saying, "I had a nice time and would really appreciate if you wouldn't talk to your girlfriends. If we could keep this between you and me, that would be great." According to the Hollywood Reporter, they reviewed text messages between Kristen Off and Lily exchanged in March and of April of 2015. In one Kristen Off message, "By the way, I have to ask, did you enjoy our night last night? I thought it was a lot of fun, but I wasn't quite sure how you felt." Lily replied, "I certainly enjoyed your company. Great conversation. Not to go into specifics over text, but I did feel slightly used. Perhaps this is a better phone conversation, but I can't talk at the moment." Noth mentioned hoping to meet again for dinner or drinks. Lily continued to respond in a friendly but non-committal way. At one point, she agreed to dinner, then canceled. She continued to put him off, and they never met again. In one exchange, Kristen Off allegedly wrote, "If you do want to have a drink later, it doesn't have to be at my place, although I have the best whiskey. Come have a drink with me before I leave town. Oh, mysterious one, where did you go?" So, of course, everyone wants to know if Kristen Off has replied in regards to the allegations. This is what he said in a statement to Page 6. "The accusations against me made by individuals I met years, even decades ago, are categorically false. These stories could have been from 30 years ago or 30 days ago. No always means no. That is a line I did not cross. The encounters were consensual. It's difficult not to question the timing of these stories coming out. I don't know for certain why they are surfacing now, but I do know this: I did not assault these women." So he's going to have a lot of answering to do when it comes to his wife, though, because if he's confirming that he had sex with at least the woman in 2015, he was married at the time. So that's going to be an interesting conversation, unless they've already had that conversation because of other instances. But I'm sure a lot of Sex and the City fans, first of all, probably won't be able to watch any more scenes with him. And thankfully, they killed him off in episode 1 of And Just Like That, because this would have been so problematic for the reboot. Guys, I know a lot of you have been hitting me up about this story, and it's just so much information. If you would like to read the full report that the Hollywood Reporter did on this, because they did take a lot of time and effort in gathering the details of the story, so it is worth getting into what they have to say in regards to the story and what they collected from all parties. And as always, I want to know your thoughts. Let's continue the conversation in the comments section. And as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.